Ji, Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Very warm welcome to all the participants. Thank you very much for all your concentration. I think the first three sessions this morning were very good. We hope we can continue with that with Saqib Saab here, and I think we have Tanya joining us online. I hope that's all very well sorted out. Okay, yeah, there she is. Tanya, thank you and welcome to the CFO conference 2024, arranged by the PAIB
Thank you so
committee.
much.
Thank you. So I think let's little bit of a warm up to the session. I think we've talked about this wave of readiness on digitization in Pakistan. I thought let's split the conversation maybe into a macro overview in terms of the big picture, where we'd request Tanya to sort of dwell on that. And Saqib Saab, of course, with SAP and so much more, we would request him to sort of focus a little bit more on the micro picture for the companies and for the finance professionals. I'm sure he's dealing with a lot of them all over the world with the experience. Essentially, let's just open the discussion. The point being, where is Pakistan in the digitization space today? I mean, is the digitization space something that we consider as a big opportunity? Are we there? Is it going to take another 10 years? Are we still not embracing technology? Is AI still not very clear to us? One thing that's clear to me is that we have 50% of our population is under 20. That's the opportunity. They are going to be earning in a world where technology is going to lead. How does that happen? Where are they in Pakistan today? 75% are rural, 25% are urban. That means there's a lot of work to be done. The larger corporations are not all digital yet. So there's a lot of work there as well. So I think I'd like to just move to Ms. Tanya Idroos first, with a very rich experience of various markets. Tanya, my first question, and please feel free to say a few introductory remarks as well, is how do you see Pakistan today in the digital space, more from a regional perspective, some of the other countries? Thank you.
Ji, thank you. First of all, thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here, and my absolute apologies for not being able to join you all in person. I had something come up last minute, just given us I had to stay back in Islamabad. But your question is, it's very pertinent and spot on, and actually exactly what we need to be asking ourselves right now. We've had fits and bursts of talking about technology and digitization over the past few years. It suddenly becomes a hot topic. We talk about it. We say karna hai, nahi karna. Highest levels पे बात होती है in the government, और फिर वो die down कर जाता है. And the reality is if you look around, whether you look at markets that are similar to ours, which is obviously a better comparison point, or you look at the Western world that has evolved very differently, the reality is that a very major part of the economy, for any thriving economy, is going to be the digital economy. अब interesting चीज ये है कि West में जो model follow हुआ है, by the way, I hope it's okay for me to be sort of crossing between Urdu and English. I'm hoping that's all right. But please call me out if it isn't. So the model that has evolved in the West, which is why the part of, like, you take the US economy, you take most of Western Europe, वहाँ पे जो big tech की evolution हुई है, that has happened largely on backs of companies like Google, Facebook, etc. These are now obviously trillion-dollar companies, and that's happened on advertising revenue. Whereas the digitization wave that you see happening in Asia, you see China, you see India, you see Indonesia, यहाँ पे model फर्क है यहाँ पे, because, and it's simply because the sort of advertising revenue per capita is very different here. These are lower ARPU markets. So यहाँ की wave is different, and it's going to happen differently. And this is not to say that it's not important. It's just that it has to be planned very carefully from the public. There's several things that the public sector needs to do, really laying the rails then for the private sector to come and innovate on top of that. And if we talk about this, and some of you have heard me talk about this to death, but it's incredibly important for, as we talk about widening our tax net, we talk about pretty much किसी भी sector में आप उठा लें, digitization in health, so that you can get health services out to areas that are difficult to reach. Digitization and education. हर sector में fundamentally अगर आपने services down to citizens provide करनी है, you cannot do that effectively unless you are building on top of a digital infrastructure. उसके बगैर there's no, and of course जो नई technologies आ रही हैं like AI etc. It's going to help, but they're all pipe dreams if you talk about them at a superficial level. So you'll hear a lot of talk globally now, and this is fantastic to hear because this is now a well understood concept that countries, like they need railroads, they need digital railroads, and those are things like digital identity, the ability to move money seamlessly from interoperably from one person to the other, the fact that data exchange can happen seamlessly from one place to the other, the fact that I should be able to give consent digitally. ये सारी चीजें इनको हम digital public infrastructure कहते हैं. And these are things that have to be led by the public sector. There's almost no other way. ये private sector आके नहीं कर सकता. और आपकी private sector की growth stunted रहेगी जब तक ये चीजें in place नहीं हैं. We'll talk later about fintech and the growth and financial inclusion. You have to have, rails like RAS ultimately open to third parties. If they remain constrained to just banks, that is going to be limiting to the innovation that can happen to get financial services out to the last mile. So, a long answer, but important preamble to say that, we are showing intent, we're starting to say the right things, but we're very early. I would call us a toddler when it comes to understanding digitization at an economy level, and really getting going on that journey.
Yeah. Okay, Tanya, thank you for that preamble. So I think what I understand from that is that obviously this is just the start of the journey, and obviously people such as you coming to Pakistan again, and hopefully inshallah you will find the right support to give Pakistan that digital infrastructure. I'll just shift to Saqib Saab, and in that background which he explained, and obviously you're a technologist, my question to you is, from a strategic perspective for companies, how can they actually build a digital transformation strategy within the companies themselves, something that can actually truly impact market share and core KPIs of that company?
Thank you very much. And I think Tanya explained it well. ये जो लफ्ज़ digital transformation है, that has become part of our every discussion. And this has been talked about at all levels. But no company can do this digital transformation alone. This is a complete ecosystem that digitally transforms itself. And unless or until this complete ecosystem is not transformed, we will be doing it into separate spots over there doing it. मैं digital transformation की example एक बड़े standard word से देता हूँ. इस hall में आए हुए तकरीबन 80% लोग जिन cars पे आए हैं वो at least automatic driven होंगी. और मैं ये भी कह सकता हूँ कि ये लोग जब इन्होंने स्टार्ट किया था अपनी ड्राइविंग को सीखना, तो इनमें से 80% लोगों ने पुरानी गियर वाली कार पे ट्रांसफॉर्म किया था. They never know that how this transformation will be forced upon them, that they will translate itself automatically to come from this phase to this phase. When we come back to the companies today, companies are trying to transform itself by providing all the data tools that are available over there. But what is the challenge? The challenge is the mindset. The major issue right now when you talk about in a digital transformation is about, do we have the right mindset and the right tools which connect with each other, just to make sure that the leaders or the CEOs of the companies make the right decision at the right time on the right set of data. अच्छा, अब ये जो हम digital transformation में data की बात करते हैं, तो problem ये है कि हमारे पास हर system में data मौजूद है और हर किसी के पास एक individual data मौजूद है और उस individual data की बुनियाद पे वो अपना decision कर रहा है. These data things they are not connected with each other. And as long as they are not connected with each other, we will be working in the silos, and these silos will result in the results and output that we are looking at today. In case of have this digital transformation journey within the organization, the most important part is to get the people ready. And they should be ready and saying they are going to gain and they are going to learn something new. The first hurdle that comes in, यार ये digital transformation कहीं मेरी job ना ले जाए. The second hurdle that comes in, am I good enough to learn? यार मैंने तो 15-20 साल पहले सीखा था. I still have the same capability to learn or not? Second hurdle comes in. And then the third hurdle that comes in, technology is running so fast that I have to learn it again, unlearn, learn again after every second year. Can I run on this speed that we are looking at today? These are the three hurdles that come into the minds of people in the organizations. And how we need to tackle them is to people coming on the top who should make and secure them out there that their jobs are secured. They will be the ones who will be learning something new and they'll be utilized in the organization in a different spot. And the speed of the organization, हम digital transformation क्यों करना चाहते हैं? सिर्फ खातों से, सिर्फ कंप्यूटर में लिख देने को digital transformation नहीं कहा जा सकता. They have to result into a efficiency of the system. They have to result in the cost optimization that should be coming out from the systems as well. And they should be enabling people to run faster, to improve their efficiency and to learn something better. And the whole technology system goes, मुझे याद है आज से अगर मैं 20 साल पहले किसी से पूछता कि आपने एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में कितनी देर काम किया है तो they will proudly tell me we have worked in this organization for 25 years and 30 years. आज आप किसी को ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में कहते हो मैंने 10 साल काम किया है, they think, oh, he's working in the same organization for 10 years, there is something may not be right for this guy. The transformation of the mind and impact has completely changed, and the organizations are trying to get ready with this in the same speed for us as well.
I think very well said. So essentially, I think what you're saying is that the mindset is still not there, but probably it has to be top-down driven, and people at the top will have to change that entire thinking process. And my sense, obviously, also is that it has to be a very heavy data-driven business strategy. And see, there are a lot of CFOs and finance professionals in this room, and typically it's not just general ledger, budgeting, planning, the basic tools, but heavy data analytics, which you can bring in and actually work with the business teams. And I think somebody spoke in the HR session as well that that there was previously a very analog-based way of building the business model. But thank you for that. I think my next question, a little bit more on the macro side, to Tanya would be, let's just talk a little bit more in detail on the government services piece. All right, can you sort of highlight some specifics for the people of Pakistan? If given the mandate over say a 3-year horizon, what would be the 4 to 5 things that you feel in terms of digitization could be a priority? And I don't know if I'm throwing a curveball to you, but what kind of actual incorporation and execution, and can you even talk a little bit about the funding? That would be very interesting for everybody here in Karachi. Thank you.
आप फंडिंग आरिफ पूछ रहे हैं कि गवर्नमेंट के पास किस तरह की फंडिंग है या थोड़ा अपने फंडिंग वाले क्वेश्चन को elaborate
I meant the business model for the digitization, and how typically should the government be funding it? Is it going to be another aid sort of a thing? And what kind of outlay are we looking at?
Yeah. So देखिए, I mean, I will caveat this by saying कि as you all know, मेरा experience बहुत limited है in public sector. मैंने कोशिश ज़रूर की थी, but I lasted a grand total of 7-8 months. तो I'll caveat that. Of course, उससे समझ आ जाती है कुछ चीज़ों की कि अंदर challenges किस level के हैं और किन चीज़ों पे movement की ज़रूरत है. But of course, I've been working in Pakistan now for the past few years in the private sector, and I'm currently trying to help the government out to see, because there is a lot of seriousness right now in terms of driving this agenda, because I do think there is a painful realization that we can talk about things like very tangible things like widening the tax net, लेकिन मसला ये है कि वो तब तक नहीं होगा जब तक, as Saqib was saying, as you were saying earlier, कि आपको अपने data की समझ हो. So the first and foremost problem is, if you look at a government in the same way as a large company, so many of you will be able to relate to this. आप अगर बैंक लेते हैं, बैंक में various products होती हैं, product की teams होती हैं, उनके generally unless कोई आपका central data lake implemented है, जो बहुत जगहों पे नहीं होता, you're doing siloed decision making based on, अगर आपको अपने data की समझ है, which by the way in most cases does not exist. Even siloed data की understanding exist नहीं करती. अब आप इसको अगर government के level पे ले जाएं, तो as you know, there's several large pools of data जो government के पास है. अगर आप उन bodies को देखें, ठीक है, NADRA is a very large pool of data. The SCCP, when it comes to businesses, is a very large pool of data. FPR, very large pool of data. The State Bank of Pakistan, right? So these are all bodies that are pools of data. Now, the problem has been that ultimately ये bodies जो हैं ये अपने blinders लगा के अपना काम करती हैं. And like you would expect in an organization to digitally transform, for a government to really talk about digitally transforming themselves, which is what then leads to digital transformation of governance, of citizen services, and then eventually of the economy. These pools of data need to be able to talk to each other and to build on one another, right? So, and again, I'll take the topic of tax, because it's a topic that is hot and right now, and of course it impacts us at an economy level. लेकिन the reality is आपको पता है कि कौन गाड़ियां खरीद रहा है, आपको पता है कि कौन जमीन खरीद रहा है, आपको पता है कि कौन किसकी क्या अमाउंट स्पेंड होते हैं on various things that are linked back to their CNICs. So these pools exist, and the beauty of actually the beauty of having digital ID, which we have had for several years, and then having some sort of critical elements like your bank accounts and your SIM cards be linked back to CNICs. The beauty of it is that some of these rails are there; they already exist. The question is in pools of data को आपने कैसे, through policy, through a push, how do you get them to? You don't have to get people to give up their pools of, that's not what I'm proposing at all. But how do you get them to talk to one another so that you can then start to make those data-driven decisions that are needed to, again, talking about from a government standpoint, doing things like widening your tax net, किस तरह आपने उसको intelligently करना है. So that's number one when we talk about priority क्या होनी चाहिए इस वक्त. This is the most critical piece for us to get right, is for us to understand that data does not deplete in value if you share it. It's actually one of those assets that increases in value when you start to open it up, right? So we have to really make that decision fundamentally कि हम किस तरह का मुल्क बनना चाहते हैं. That's number one. Number two, आपने question पूछा कि ये fund कैसे होगा. अब देखिए, I have historically found that funding for whether it's creating sustainable models, which I'm a very big proponent of. मुझे आप anti-debt कह लें थोड़ा सा, लेकिन मेरा generally मेरी approach ये रही है. And of course, one has to be pragmatic about what you need debt for to get things done, and what you should be able to do and stand up, indigenously and yourself without needing to rely on debt. The reality is, as a country, if we can get ourselves to the point where we're only borrowing for things that we know have a clear ROI, or borrowing for things that we know कि वो अगर आप नहीं करेंगे उनको in place, तो वो ultimately आप खुद शायद ना कर सकें sustainably. So, with that said, I have actually never found, last experience में भी और इसमें भी कि पैसों का कोई मसला है. अब पैसे, whether they're coming in from, as external debt, or whether you're standing up pre-existing models and sustainable models that over a period of time allow you to not need to rely on external capital. The reality is you need to have a plan in place. You need a blueprint. You need to know exactly what the steps are that are involved. And then, like a company does budgeting and forecasting, that's how you do it. So, we're at the stage as a country where a lot of the planning has to be done like the way you do planning for a large organization. वो digital transformation की जो साकिब ने बात की is exactly वही चीजें आपने government पे apply करनी है. Exactly उसी तरह आपकी problem solve होंगी. Good planning, understanding your data, forecasting, and then really only determining कि आपको इतने पैसों की जरूरत पड़ेगी to do X, Y, and Z. That's how. With that said, there is no shortage. I have not found that with proper proposals and proper understanding that there's ever been किसी funding की वजह से ये चीज नहीं हो सकती. That's not the case, at least in my limited experience.
I just want to add on top of what Tanya said. Tanya said it in a very nice way. I will be more blunt over here. Digital transformation in the organization and the public sector is also dependent on the intent. एक सीईओ है, वो अपनी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन की एफिशिएंसी को इंक्रीज करना चाहता है, उसकी कॉस्ट ऑप्टिमाइजेशन को बेटर करना चाहता है, आउटपुट को इंक्रीज करना चाहता है. When we come to the public sector, the most important thing is intent from the top, what they do want to do and what the output that they want to get. हमें सबसे पहले उस इंटेंट को क्लैरिफाई करना होगा. हमारी कंट्री में मेजॉरिटी ऑफ द टाइम जब भी हम ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन प्रोजेक्ट की बात करते हैं, हम शॉर्ट टर्म थॉट प्रोसेस के अंदर जाते हैं. हमें एकदम कोई चीज आती है, ओ जी अभी इसको मसले को हल करना है, एंड वी पुट ऑल आवर एफर्ट्स ऑफ सेटलिंग दैट प्रॉब्लम इन द नेक्स्ट 2 days. There has to be two parts when we come onto the public sector and we talk about the transformation in the public sector. There are two parts in this one. One is, yes, we need to do it on a short term, but we need to make a plan of long term, 10 to 15 years. अगर हम वो प्लान नहीं करेंगे और ऑल द टाइम अपने शॉर्ट टर्म प्लान के ऊपर चलते रहेंगे, we will be only doing it on ad hoc basis. And that's not how the organizations transform themselves. We need to have a 15-year long plan. We need to divide it into short term plans, and then we say, and then the things comes in about investment or that you are talking about funding. अच्छा, ये जो loves funding और investment है ना, frankly we all are business people. पाकिस्तान में पैसे की कमी नहीं है. पाकिस्तान के अंदर right project को identify करने के लिए और ये highlight करने के लिए, this is the output that we will get out of that one. That's where the gap is at this point of time. We go to Saudi Arabia, we go to Qatar, we come back and say they are ready to invest this much in money in our country. You know what they ask? What is the right project? What is how the outcome will come out for your country and for them? They are also doing business for this one. So I think when we talk about the public sector, I think it's very important for us to have the right intent, have the long-term policy that we are talking about, divide it into short-term policies which can give and connect different service sectors with each other. अभी तानिया ने बात की FBR की, स्टेट बैंक की. The point is how to get connected with each other. आप सब दुबई recent trip में जा रहे होंगे. From the time you get into the plane from here till the point you go into the hotel room, आपकी immigration, आपकी Uber की drive, even your hotel check-in, they are all automated without the human interaction, because all the databases on the back ends are linked together and they get the green signal all the time and the door opens. Because the connectivity of all the government sectors are connected with each other to have the desired output. I think intent and long-term planning will make an impact over there.
Thank you, Saqib, for echoing what Tanya said as well. I think my takeaways, and thank you, essentially, is the opportunity is the cash in circulation. I'm just giving you the banking input into this, is that you have 9 trillion of banking, of cash in circulation, which is under the mattress. If that were to come into the economy, you can well imagine, and Pakistan's GDP is obviously much more than what you see in numbers, and that's why our trade deficit numbers and our tax to GDP numbers are very low, because of the informal economy. So to me, the biggest opportunity digitization brings is the actual value that comes into the system. The second most important thing is encapsulating the citizen of Pakistan as a customer for the government. Whether you want to give him health care, the tax that he pays, or retirement savings, all of that has to be encapsulated as a customer. And then digitization will come in to sort of, remove the deadweight loss in there. And I think on the funding bit, I'll just add that it's very clear that the telcos have done a lot in the last 20 years when it comes to connectivity and digitization. Alhamdulillah. So that is one thing that we should be happy about. On the back of that, the next step should essentially be public-private partnership to bring digitization to Pakistan. That's my reading of the situation over the last many years. I think the next question, I'll take to Saqib, please, is a little bit more on the finance professional side. What kind of technology adoption do you feel finance, departments or units can take up in the wave of this new era?
When we talk out today, we talk about any of the departments, technology is the name of the game today. आज आप टेक्नोलॉजी के बगैर, आज 6 मंथ का बच्चा भी जब उस YouTube वीडियो को खुद ऑपरेट करने लगता है, भी कहते हैं वाओ, how fast this kid has adopted to the technology and giving and seeing the desired outputs. We take it to the professional over there. ये जो different departments हैं, they are getting merged with each other. ये जो टेक्नोलॉजी को अब ये कहना कि IT एक separate है और finance एक separate है, no, that's not the case anymore. The technology is becoming an enabler platform on which different platforms are coming on top of this one, and that's how the whole industry is coming up. आप फाइनेंस की बात करते हैं, आप फाइनेंस की, how many of us are going to the banks physically today? Hardly 1 or 2 trips in the whole year. The world has changed for us because we are adopting the technology in such a way that we don't need to go to the banks, and we are doing all our transactions sitting in the rooms and doing and adopting to that technology. आपने से पहले ट्रिलियन रुपीस की बात की एंड यू कहा कि वो सब पाकिस्तान के अंदर मौजूद है, एंड हाउ इट विल इम्पैक्ट द इकोनॉमी. I think this is a question, frankly, not for the government. This is a question for us. Okay. How many of us are thinking about कि मुझे इस पैसे को इस इकोनॉमी के लिए यूज करना है? You know, कभी हमारे यहाँ लैंड बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट हो जाती है और हम अपना तमाम पैसा लैंड के अंदर डाल देते हैं. जब रेट्स बढ़ जाते हैं हम अपना सारा बैंकिंग में डाल देते हैं. आउट ओवर देयर क्या यार इससे हमें बनता चला आएगा. We as a Pakistani citizens need to think over how we are going to contribute on our part. गवर्नमेंट से मांगना तो राइट भी है और हमारा हक भी है. उन लोगों के लिए जो टैक्स दे रहे हैं, जो टैक्स नहीं दे रहे हैं उनके लिए शायद मांगना हक भी नहीं है. बट अगर हम ये बैठकर सोचना शुरू करें कि हमने अपनी इंडिविजुअली जगह पर आकर किस तरह इस सोसाइटी के अंदर इस चीज को चेंज करना है, देन वी हैव अ रोल टू प्ले. यू नो, गवर्नमेंट इज देयर टू हेल्प डिफाइन पॉलिसीज. Government is there to define and see the international connect, how the impact of different international policies are going to help in our country and how we have to safeguard ourselves. That's what their job is. At the end of the day, the point that you raised in terms of public-private partnership and our own ownership of the problem in hand to get the solution, I think that will define us how we are as a nation. हम बड़ी-बड़ी महफिलों में आकर बड़ी-बड़ी बातें कर जाते हैं, लेकिन क्या उसके जाने के बाद हम में से कितनी ऊपर अमल कर पाते हैं? That is the difference that has to be generated over here. Because we are very good in the postmortem, but we are very bad in the execution of the result of the postmortem. And that's the change as a nation that we need to bring in to have some impact and some change that we are looking in today.
No, thank you, Sagar. Very candidly, you hit the nail on the head on what is actually important. And introspection, I guess, is the key. Let's just moving a little bit away, not from the core, but I'll come back to you, Tanya, on digital skills development. How do you feel Pakistan can actually progress in that? And most importantly, how do we stop the brain drain? Thank you.
Yeah, आपने बहुत ही billion dollar question पूछा है because I think all of us are, all problems set aside, जब आपका talent give up करके छोड़ना शुरू कर देता है ना, that's a very difficult thing to reverse. And of course, we've seen that happen in hordes over the last 1 or 2 years. देखिए, skills development, my view on this might be slightly contrarian. होता ही है कि the world is evolving very rapidly, right? So, today what we may be considering sort of the top skills to train people in are going to look very different maybe 5-10 years from now. जो हमारा मसला रहा है वो ये है कि हम लोग एक ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम शुरू करते हैं बहुत, पब्लिक सेक्टर में है, प्राइवेट सेक्टर में है. मसला ये है कि एट द एंड ऑफ द डे ट्रेन कर दिया आपने, देन व्हाट? रियल जो वैल्यू आती है वो तब आती है जब आपको हैंड्स ऑन एक्सपीरियंस मिलता है. एंड दिस इज बाय द वे ट्रू इन एनी प्रोफेशन. ये खाली डिजिटल स्किल्स में नहीं है. आप किसी भी प्रोफेशन में उठा लें, रियल जो ट्रेनिंग होती है जहाँ पे आपका रियल मेटल नजर आता है वो होती है तब जब आप आपसे हाथ से काम करना शुरू करते हैं. as Sagar mentioned, real execution. You may be very book smart and you may be doing great. अब the challenge is वो जो training grounds हैं in our sector वो unfortunately बड़े limited हैं. And this is it's a very big gap that we have right now. Okay, while of course you have you have several companies that are employing people, but you don't have enough of them. जिस स्पीड से you have students coming out, you need उसी स्पीड से jobs getting created, for, or whether they're jobs that are sort of structured jobs or more informal jobs, but again training opportunities getting created ताकि उनकी skills होनी शुरू हो, for them to then become actually like valuable. मैं आपको अपना example देती हूँ personal कि हम लोगों ने, so we hire engineers in our startup, and what we found was कि पहले हम experienced लोग ले रहे थे generally. फिर हमने सोचा कि यार नहीं, actually पूरा pyramid create करने की ज़रूरत है, so let's start hiring fresh grads. And what we found was that आप जब fresh grads hire कर रहे थे, regardless of किस तरह की यूनिवर्सिटी से आप हायर कर रहे हैं. Ultimately, आपको, you had to bring them in and train them over a period of time. So we've developed our own 3-month-long training program that we put every fresh graduate through that joins the company. उसके बाद और उसके दौरान we give them a lot of hands-on training, but also a lot of जो skills हमारे business के लिए ज़रूरी हैं. उसके बाद जाके after those 90 days we integrate them into our actual teams. ये मैं आपको बताएं, by the way, as you talk to several businesses in this space, they'll tell you that many of them have had to do similar things. So जब हम बात करते हैं ना कि और लोगों को ट्रेन कर रहे हैं, my bigger question is कि भाई आप ट्रेन करेंगे then what? अगर आप वो मार्केट के साथ कनेक्ट क्रिएट नहीं करेंगे जहाँ पे अल्टीमेटली इन बच्चों ने आके, स्टूडेंट्स ने आके, यंग प्रोफेशनल्स ने आके ट्रेन होना है, you are ultimately going to land up in the same problem. Like what you don't want is a computer science graduate working a call center job because there isn't the ability to find that market connect. So that happens. इस वक्त बहुत unfortunately बहुत pronounced है. So what ends up happening again in our sector is obviously the freelancing workforce is quite large. So people who are talented and who are well plugged into networks ultimately know कि हम घर पे बैठ के we can make a couple of $1,000s a month. We know how to monetize our skills. तो वो करनी शुरू कर देते हैं, लेकिन उसमें जो गैप रह जाता है वो यही है कि जो एक ट्रेनिंग होती है एक स्ट्रक्चर में आके really to enhance your skills, वो शायद उस लेवल की नहीं हो सकती. So you almost need a mix of both. You need your industry growing, and then training a large number of your young workforce, and then of course you also want your freelancing workforce to continue to thrive as it is. लेकिन जो brain drain की बात है, again we've all all of us who live here know that the reality is there is no replacement for having hope in the future, in your future. Most people tend to make decisions based on what they feel they need to do for their next generation. This is generally how the human psyche operates. जब आपको लगता है और नजर आना शुरू होता है कि यार मेरी what is my kid's life going to be like? Am I by me continuing to be here, am I shortchanging my next generation? और अगर एक वो sort of hopelessness तारी हो जाती है, वो बहुत मुश्किल है उस चीज को टैकल करना. And again, इसका जो really best solution is your economy starts to take a turn. Ultimately, when people feel like they have a chance to grow and to make a great living without having to cut corners, those are the fundamentals that will allow people to stay. And to feel it. I talk to several people, young people who want to be in Pakistan, but जिनकी families ने उनको push out कर दिया है कि जाओ निकलो. And that is probably the most heartbreaking thing in this whole piece. We spend a lot of time recruiting people back to Pakistan. I've been doing that for the last three and a half years now in the private sector. And I can tell you it takes a lot of effort to convince someone to leave their life, wherever it may be, and to take a bet. Like again, you will also find lots of crazies who do that because they believe that they have something to offer back, उन्होंने एक certain amount of skills gain की हैं. And the interesting thing that we found is where we have found phenomenal leaders, functional leaders, उन teams पे आपको सबसे कम attrition नजर आती है. Because what will happen is you have a good, solid, trained leader. उस leader की ability to grow that talent is going to be completely different. Than somebody who it does not have that same kind of caliber. People, even young people, will choose to stay back if they are seeing growth, because everyone again understands that growth खाली पैसों से नहीं होती. Growth, of course, आपकी learning से भी होती है, right? So people are optimizing for this is a formula that most people optimize for in their heads. कि यार पैसे भी grow कर रहे, income भी grow कर रही हो, लेकिन growth in my particular profession भी grow कर रही हो, मेरी learning improve कर रही हो. So we have to find ways to create that balance where we may not be able to pay top dollar today, but can we create those growth and learning opportunities? And I think several of us are trying or have been trying to do that in our sort of spheres of influence.
Just want to add on this brain drain. you know, this topic is forever in Pakistan. जी हमारा brain drain हो रहा है. What is the definition of this brain drain? You know, हमने पाकिस्तान की boundaries, and we are working in two parallel universes right now. One of them where we have created boundaries on the maps and we have said this is Pakistan, this is other countries, and people are going from here to there for better life and everything. And then there is a virtual world up, which is about how the opportunities there and how the skills are there. In this parallel world, there is no boundaries. Anybody that is going today from, we say that the brain drain is happening from Pakistan and going to the other countries, हम physical boundary की बुनियाद पे कहते हैं वो पाकिस्तान से बाहर जा रहा है. But what this guy is doing, he has got a better opportunity based on his skill in a better competitive environment, and he is going to achieve over there to get the better results for him and maybe also his family as well. So why we are targeting itself that this brain drain, where the 250 million plus population that we are talking about, is always there. It will get an output towards us as well. Problem ये है कि जो लोग बाहर जा रहे हैं, उनकी speed बहुत ज़्यादा है as compared to the set of opportunity that we are talking about in this physical world that we call Pakistan is relatively less. What we are trying to give to these skill development people. I remember 30 years back when I got the job, somebody see on my CV I am from UET Lahore. Today, 30 years down the road, when I see and hire a person, hardly I see where he's from. I really check what his skill is and what skill he can be part of this team to get the desired output that I'm looking for today. The problem is we are not providing the right skillful platforms for our youth. हम कहते तो बहुत हैं कि बहुत youth है हमारे पास, 62% population, 30% से less age की है, but what we are doing to salvage that youth, that's a question. In every forum we say what we have this youth that is working for us, but that skill development that we are talking about, that platforms are needed to be there. और हमें add any more degrees हाँ important है, लेकिन वक्त degrees से बाहर निकल रहा है. It is more and more dependent on the skill that the guy has developed either on top of his degree or without his degree. That has become more important. और आप किसी को रोक नहीं पाएंगे, किसी को रोकना चाहिए भी नहीं है. यहाँ हम इस कंट्री के अंदर वो प्लेटफॉर्म्स प्रोवाइड करते हैं जिससे उन लोगों को, उन बच्चों को यहाँ पे राइट सेट ऑफ फैसिलिटीज और ऑप्शंस अवेलेबल हो, और लेट देम गो एंड गेट द money for us and then help the people and the families grow on our side. But let's work on the skill development, and that government's role is to make sure that they provide that platforms to get that skill development in a better shape.
No, thank you. So I think essentially we've highlighted a problem. So from the universities down to what the government is doing, including what professional bodies are doing, I think we need to have a real digital agenda for actual skill development. And of course, like you rightly said, the platforms have to come in, but obviously all of that FDI comes in once you have a lot more stability in every sector, not just technology as well. So I'm sure, inshallah, there will be steps in that direction. And I mean, Pakistan has a long way to go in each of these sectors, but I still feel that obviously the potential and the larger population set is what attracts foreign investors. That this market, the size of the market, and obviously, hopefully, we believe that one day there will be a lot of technology and innovation from Pakistan. And you know, my message, at least from the banking sector to the professionals here, is that do go back to your desk and see what kind of innovation you can do in your businesses. And you will be more competitive in your markets, whether you're working in Pakistan or overseas, if you focus on that innovation. So having a digital officer innovation agenda within your strategy is also extremely important. There will be a lot of work that the government will do, but trust me, you know, sessions and forums such as this can generate ideas, and allow yourself to do that brainstorming and allow yourself to, you know, come up with those suggestions that people who are sitting in Islamabad can actually look at.
I just wanted to add one point more. ये जो दो buzzwords हैं ना, one is the public-private partnership, and the second one is the industry-academia relationship. ये एक sequence में हमारे लिए बहुत important है. अगर ये industry-academia का relationship दुरुस्त नहीं होगा, तो at the end of the day हम उस public-private partnership जिसकी तरफ आने जाते हैं, it's a complete chain. Today, industry is working, academia is working on a certain set, which may or may not be required by the industry. Industry's requirement is certain output that they require to result into the public and private partnership and the results that we are looking at today. हमें इस chain को किसी तरह connect करना है, बहुत important. how the academia, how the public, how the private partnership, that connects together in that chain to get the desired output as one chain. अभी ये हम silos में काम कर रहे हैं, इसको जितनी जल्दी हम cover कर सकेंगे, ये buzzwords हर conference में बोले जाते हैं, but उसके against एक practical steps लेकर हमें milestone define करेंगे, how we make that connectivity. I think that's really, really important.
You know, I think that's the roadmap. You're asking for a real technology roadmap for the country. I'm sure that will evolve, and there is time to that. I think one last final question from Tanya is about Pakistan's connectivity in terms of global trade. Anything you feel, and here I'd just like you to talk very briefly about what are the opportunities for technologists in Pakistan for business overseas.
जी अरे एक और चीज़ जिसको मैं कमेंट करना चाहूँगी बिफोर आई गेट इनटू दिस इज के यू नो देखें हम फंडिंग अट्रैक्ट करने की बात करते हैं देखिए फंडिंग डिस्पाइट द एनवायरनमेंट वी मे बी इन जहाँ पे क्रेडिबल लोग होंगे वहाँ पे फंडिंग आएगी there is enough money available globally in all forms of right whether it's venture capital whether it's private equity right each of these areas and we've all and you see this right without the necessary support people have been successful at raising money but again we have to make sure that ये जो growth है ये private sector led हो और credibly private sector led हो और ये कर रहे हैं pockets में and in fact you're seeing this multiply which frankly is the thing that is very heartwarming for me personally. What we've seen happen in the last 5 years in terms of private sector, more young people coming in, being able to raise money and actually going after domestic local problems. Like to me, that is going to be the game changer for us in the next several years. आप global digital trade की बात कर रहे हैं देखिए ultimately again आपकी खुद economy digital जाना शुरू होगी तो फिर आप उसकी digital connection की बात करेंगे into a global ecosystem. I'll give you an example of a very strategic agreement that the governments of India and Singapore have done, tying in their respective real-time payment systems together. Now, these are both, Singapore is a highly digital economy. India, of course, is very much on their way to becoming a digital economy. All the indicators are moving in the right direction. And what they've done is because the amount of movement that happens through their real-time payment rails, जो अब हमारी, of course, in place आई हैं through RAS, but we're very early. What they have now done is they have actually created an agreement where people are going to be able to move money cross-border digitally because those rails are connected. And we will, I am quite confident, see more and more of these agreements happening at national levels between countries who want to do digital trade. So, you know, the very definition of जो हमारे concepts of trade हैं or the borders, वो change होंगे as economies move towards digital. We are, I mean, I think we have to call a spade. हम लोग खुद उस level पे नहीं है तो अभी तो हम दूर मतलब we should you know not be talking about something. First we have to fix our own house, get our own house in order, and then start to think about how we make those connections. Is it difficult to do? No, it's not. But you have to again put your own you know fundamentals in place. और दूसरी चीज again you know as you mentioned जो opportunities for selling globally. देखिए ultimately हमने decide ये करना है as a nation. Do we want to be consumers of technology or do we want to be builders of technology? अगर आप consumers रहेंगे ना तो आप हमेशा डॉलर आपका outflow जाता रहेगा और ये आपकी हमेशा चीज रहेगी. This is a fundamental concern. If your mindset becomes that you can build indigenously, that is actually where your ability to first, of course, test out what you're building in a very large domestic economy. हर sector में आपके पास large opportunities हैं. किसी भी sector को आप उठा लें. Then your ability to you know test out what you have built and take it to the world becomes completely different. This is where actually I have a lot of high hopes for our sort of B2B SaaS platforms that are now coming up. Again, this industry is very early in Pakistan, but this is fundamentally, these are going to be businesses that are solving problems that are global in nature, but they're building here and they'll be building for, you know, they'll be selling globally. And that of course also solves for dollar denominated revenue. So I think opportunity is absolutely there, largely because हमारे पास unique benefit ये है कि हमारे मुल्क का size देखें, हमारी किसी भी industry को उठा लें उसका size देखें. So you start to solve for those segments by building for them rather than just consuming, and it's a game changer. But you know it's not a short fix. So वही बात जो साके भी कह रहे थे early के short term thinking and solution से निकल के long term planning करना, and by the way that is true of the private sector as well. Not just of what the public sector needs to do.
My last comments will be, हमने ये सारी discussion, we did that across digital transformation and transformation. Transformation is not about just putting the data into computer. Transformation is about how we can change ourselves. And by changing ourselves, we mean we have to change the way we do our work. बाज़ हम बहुत stubborn हो जाते हैं कि हमने एक success हासिल की है over the period of 20-30 years एक ही तरीके से काम करके, and that is the only working successful model. The transformation or the digital transformation tells us there can always be a better model through which we can improve ourselves. So in our mindsets, first of all, we need to have this awareness and this consciousness that there's always a better way of doing this or certain job, and we need to adopt that change regardless of our age and regardless of our success. I think that's, if we are able to get that mantra in our minds, things can start changing. And second thing that I would like to end the discussion from my side is about hope. You know, ये मुल्क गुज़श्ता इतने सालों से मौजूद है, इसमें बहुत से मुश्किल वक्त आए, मुश्किल वक्त गए, वो नाजुक मोड़ जिस पे हम हमेशा से चलते रहे हैं. इन सब चीज़ों के बावजूद ये मुल्क अपनी जगह पर खड़ा है और हम सब वक्त के साथ साथ इसमें मौजूद है और आगे लेकर चलेंगे. हमारा एक फेथ है हमारे अंदर और इस मुल्क के लोगों के ऊपर. We can always be very easily put it on some people, or we can always say government ने ये नहीं किया और वो नहीं किया, but we need to think ourselves what change we can bring in the system which can impact the people around us. If you are able to, one person is able to make that change, I think that's the impact that will be created, and that's the transformation that this country is looking at. Digital can be one part of it, but to be honest, we required this transformation in our hearts and souls to get the desired output and results that we are looking forward in our lifespan or the generations to come for this country. And I think we need to do our part on that one.
Thank you very much, Saqib Sahab. So I think you've put in a lot of heart in that. So essentially, you want digitization to be one element of a larger transformation. And I think every Pakistani feels that today, and it's extremely important. I think, Tanya, your last point on the remittance, I'm calling it remittance, but you were talking about payments. Very exciting, the Singapore-India thing. Obviously, we bring in $30 billion with great effort. And if we were to, over time, even in the next many years, come up with that kind of a payment rail structure, you cannot imagine how that would impact the currency peg, how that would impact remittance flows, and where we would be taking NRPs, and it could have widespread impacts. I hope one day you will talk to us a little bit more about those rails across Pakistan and some of the major GCC countries, inshallah. Meri umeed to yahi hai. Thank you very much, Saqib Sahab, for representing us at this conference, and SAP, of course. Tanya, for talking to all of us, and inshallah we will hope that we will hear from both of you again as well. Thank you to PIB committee, and I'll hand over back to Sami Sahab, and enjoy the rest of the session. Thank you.
Thank you.
थैंक यू, बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया.
Thank you.
आपने हैंड ओवर मुझे करना था, आपने समी साहब को हैंड ओवर कर दिया.
नहीं, अदील हाशमी साहब को मैं हैंड ओवर करता हूँ. इनके लिए भी थोड़ी तालियां होनी चाहिए. बड़ी अच्छी आज मेजबानी की है.
अरे ऐसे तालियां बजाई तो क्या बजाई. इफ आई कैन रिक्वेस्ट जीशान इजाज साहब एंड खलील